are you asking yourself maybe, am I choosing the right career? Who had this question before? Raise your hand.
Crisis.
Okay. Or what if AI changed this industry before I graduate or before I turn 40, 50? Raise your hands. I see a lot of hands, thank you. And then, should I work for money or meaning? Anybody? Okay, I'll guess because also. And, or what if I make the wrong decision? In career, in love, especially, right? Yes? In marketing, oh yes, in marketing. Yeah, so many questions, right? But also, so many answers, so many directions. And when you have to make a decision like that, who do you go to ask for the answers? Oh, right? You have a lot of source of information and advice. We have our parents for students, right? We have our friends, of course. I study journalism because my friend asked me to join her because she thought that I was good at writing. So that's why I stay here. Okay, and lectures for students again. But for all of us, we have all the resources to ask for answers, right? LinkedIn for professionals, social media especially, influencers, and of course algorithms. We don't ask for it, but it answers for us sometimes, right? And then managers in the news, right? And especially now we have AI, right? So AI is actually just another source of information. You can ask the questions, right? But before AI, we still have the same questions earlier. AI just make our questions bigger, more serious, and more urgent. Is it true? So it's not something dangerous. It's not that scary. It's just, if we script the perspective to it is a catalyst for change, then it can be a good thing, because it is a catalyst for change. Because if we don't change ourselves, then AI will change us, right? So we need to be upfront. So the next question is, then what remains deeply human that AI cannot change us, and that if we cannot ask AI anymore, if we cannot ask our parents, our friends anymore, then who should we turn to? Who should we turn to? We have ourselves. It's the last and the best one, right? We're not alone. We have ourselves. And so within ourselves, and this is, I think this is one of the example of the saying, the only way out is in. And within us, for me personally, I have, through my life experience, I have created, let's say, a framework for the capabilities that I think only human can do, and AI can never replace. And those are presence, being present, self-awareness, discernment, and alignment. But after the sections earlier this morning, I realized that actually AI can do the first two things, presence and self-awareness. But when it comes to discernment and alignment, it has a long way to go, and I will explain that in each capability. So the first one, presence. I notice, and this is actually what we practiced earlier, to go back to our body, to notice what is around us and what is within us. Are you feeling good? Do you feel, for example, me, I did the exercise because I mainly did it for myself. I was nervous earlier, right? But when I breathe in and breathe out, and breathe out, I feel my body warmer, because earlier I was too cold, right? And so that will give us information. That is the information that we can generate, right? That is the data that the body gives to us. So we get used to getting information from outside, but we have a very, very rich source of information within ourselves that we barely access, right? So the first thing is to notice the things around you and the thing within you, right? Because that would make space for you to make better decisions. And you cannot become self-aware if you're never present enough to notice what's happening around you, right? That gives us awareness, whether within or without. And then the second capability, self-awareness. This is where we learn. After we notice, we will learn, why do we feel nervous? Why do I feel cold when I sit here, prepare for my presentation, for example, right? And we recognize not just our sensations, but our thoughts. Like I was thinking, am I good enough? Can I do this alone, for example, right? We just need to notice, no judgment. We don't blame ourselves and others. And then we name our emotions honestly, We become honest with ourselves. And then from that, we understand why do we respond to the way we do normally. Or like the way you behave with your managers, to your clients every day. Sometimes when you go to a networking event and then when you go home, you feel like you could do better, for example, right? And that is the reflection we need in order to increase our self-awareness. Because if you cannot practice discernment, you cannot practice judgment or discernment if you don't first understand yourself. If you cannot understand yourself first, then the others you cannot understand also. So this is why you need self-awareness first before you need awareness around you. Right, and then this is the key, the key capability that I want to emphasize on. I realize, right? Why? This is not just about judgment. So we talk a lot about judgment, right? Earlier, the guest speakers talked a lot about we need to judge AI to decide. We don't let AI decide. But I discovered this word throughout my life experience, that discernment from Oxford. So this is just to make it less digital. So discernment means the ability to judge the quality of somebody or something well. And this is exactly what we need right now, right? And it's not just about the ability to judge something well, but it's also about distinguishing your fear from your intuition, from your gut feelings, and separate your voice from others. What do you want to say? Not what your managers or your lecturers want to say, right? And then choosing what truly resonates with you. What makes you feel joy when you do it? What can you do for hours without checking the phones, for example, right? Or what do you think you are good at, even though you don't like it very much, right? So from that self-awareness and from that judgment, you can decide which direction you want to go, which company, which school you want to join. And you cannot practice, sorry. And I have an example for this capability. Earlier, I watched this series, White Country. It's a very good one. The story was about Osho. Who knows Osho, the Indian guru who published a lot of books about spirituality? Yeah, very good. So this documentary was about him and his community moving from India to America to establish a whole new city, like an utopia, right? And imagine, in order to build a whole city in the middle of the desert, you need the engineers, you need the scientists, you need everybody who is good at what they do. Very smart people to build it, and they succeed for 5 years. But then gradually, they had many conflicts with the local community there, the Americans, different worldviews, different spirituality. So it escalated into this community. They could do anything to protect their leader, to protect the community, even killing people. Right? So after watching this movie, I had a question in my mind, like, how do the smartest people on earth can do such things without considering morality? Right? And I also asked the different perspective of the main characters there, because I have my own perspective on the guru myself. So when I asked and I discussed with ChatGPT about that, right? And then after our discussion, ChatGPT said to me something that I was quite surprised. It says that this is one of the most interesting ways to use AI, not to ask for answers, but to clarify the questions you have within yourself. And after that, I replied to it, well, yeah, I make use of your capability, like to connect the dots, to systematically think, and the speed, and spot the patterns. And I use my own capability, my intuition, my self-awareness, and my discernment, so that I can find the answers my own. And after that, ChatGPT said, yeah, I'm very good at horizontal intelligence, and you're very good at vertical intelligence. I said, oh, this is good. And it says, it admits to me that it doesn't have physical experience, doesn't have subjective experience, it doesn't have a body, it doesn't have intuition, right? Gut feelings, they don't have it, and it admits that. It means that it has self-awareness, correct? Are you self-aware as ChatGPT just yet?
Not sure.
Yeah? So, yeah, and it agreed that if we combine together these capabilities, we can find our own answers. And so from that, I create this chart where humans' capabilities can go up and AI can do whatever it wants, but it can never go up like us, right? It can have us going around, finding data, analyze it, and connect the dots. But it's us who decide which is wrong, which direction to go, and which decision to make, right? And then, of course, it's not just this, right? So when we climb the ladders like this, AI will also have us do horizontally in each level. And so that leads to the final capability that I think students and all of us can cultivate from ourselves, which is alignment, where we just live, where what we think, what we feel, and what we do align with each other, right? A straight line. So we don't have to feel anxious or feel bored or feel stressful when we go to work. Every day we can wake up. If we feel good, we go to work and we do the things that we want to do. That is, I think, the utopia that everybody can create for ourselves. That is where alignment lives. Alignment is when what you do and say reflects what you think and feel. Yeah. So also you can reflect back to yourself. Are you on this stage yet? Right? And so from that, I combine everything and I create this framework that I call the alignment framework, where we have this pyramid. Actually, it's not a pyramid. I think it's like a circle, but just to make it clearer, I put the stages of the capabilities here, where in each stage we have the main thing we can do. We notice, we learn from ourselves and from others, and then we realize what is true for us, and from that we can live accordingly. But in order to climb the ladders like this, right, we cannot just use our mind and our AI agents because that is just we just accessing our mind. But remember, AI said to us they don't have the body, they don't have the feelings, but we have. So we can cultivate that. So that's why the only way to go from here to here is to use your mind. Of course, don't forget your mind, but use it properly. And then use your emotions, right? Ask yourself, how do you genuinely feel when you do something? Do you feel very happy, very joyful, or you feel sad, right? And then next, you can also ask your body, go back to the present. And then lastly, after your mind, your emotion, and your body are aligned, then naturally, your energy or your inner compass will direct you accordingly to whatever it needs to, right? And from that, you don't afraid of uncertainty that AI or anything brings to you anymore. Okay, so yeah, and in order to reach the wisdom, right? This I got inspired from the data to wisdom pyramid of Russell Adolph. Maybe you know this already. So yeah, in order to reach to alignment, you need to practice daily with 4 aspects of you, not just the mind, but 4 aspects. So like it will go spiraling up like this, right? In each stage, you ask yourself these 4 questions, and then you can easily go to the wisdom within you. Yeah, and this is the the conclusion of the article of Akov from the information pyramid, where he said very personally, at least this is how it seems to me. From all this, I infer that wisdom generating systems are ones that men will never be able to assign to automata, right? And I think it's still correct until now, right? The pursuit of wisdom cannot be done by machines. It can only be done by us, right? But, well, you can consider yourself as the machine as well. Your body is the most advanced machine on Earth, on the universe. So use that. Example. So you receive a new job offer. Everybody tells you to accept it. So you say yes. Maybe you come across this in the past, right? So it looks like a great decision, right? It's good salary, good environment, right? Good opportunities. But you feel anxious every Sunday night. You keep procrastinating your work. And you feel strangely disconnected. You tell yourself, maybe I'm just not working hard enough. Maybe there's something wrong with me, right? But have you ever asked another question? What if your body wasn't trying to stop you from working? What if it's trying to tell you something else? It's trying to tell you that it's not your perfect job. You can do something else. Don't be afraid, right? And until you listen to that voice, your body will keep messing up. So, you can start again. Go back to yourself. Ask yourself the 4 questions. What story am I telling myself in my mind? It's a good job, good salary, very stable, right? But then, what emotion keeps showing up? Exhausted, impatient, nervous, right? And where do I feel tension? Whenever I see my manager, my heart is like bumping out of my body, for example, right? Or whenever there's a meeting, I cannot speak up. And then, so the last question, if fear wasn't making the decision, what good? But then you have to ask yourself, what fear are you having? You have to admit to yourself, what fear? Is it fear of unemployment? Peer pressure? Fear of missing out? A lot of fears, right? So ask yourself, is my decision made from those fears? And if the decision was made from one of those fears, you need to review that decision. Okay? So, you can ask those questions with all the problems that you have in your life. For example, you keep from small problems to big problems. Like, you keep saying, I'm fine, but every part of you feels exhausted. Or you stay in a relationship that no longer feels right. Or you keep chasing a career because everyone says it's successful or stable. And then you know what you want, but you are afraid of change. Right? Where's the money? For example. So, but for all those questions, and from my own perspective, alignment to answer those questions doesn't always mean change your life, right? It's not something big that you have to constantly asking yourself to try harder. Sometimes alignment is just telling yourself the truth. Like, are you very happy with your life right now? Or is there anything that you can do better, for example? So, going back to the framework, if you cannot remember anything I said from this presentation, I beg you to remember these 4 words, right? Being present, I notice. Being self-aware, I learn from myself. Be discerning, right? I judge well. I realize something is true to me, and then I align, I live, and do it one decision at a time, and you'll be fine. And that is my presentation. Thank you. So